For the longest time, I thought that roof flaps were something that bald people would wear. And then I became a NASCAR fan and got to know Buddy Pittman a little bit more, and he has a whole new explanation of what roof flaps are. Professor Pittman, would you join us, please? Enter and sign in.
My pleasure. Let's talk about some roof flaps. You know, NASCAR's always looking for ways to make these race cars safer. And one of the problems they had was when the cars got turned around backwards, they tended to lift up in the back. Let me show you the problem. When the cars would get backwards, the air hits the spoiler and starts to lift the car up in the air, and then you got the barrel roll and the flipping. Jack Roush and Roush Racing came up with a very important advent. It's called roof flaps. When the car gets backwards, the air makes these roof flaps come up. And what that does is that keeps the car down on the ground. It puts the air force of the car back, forcing the car down to the ground instead of lifting it up off the ground. And in doing that, you avoid a lot of the barrel rolls and a lot of the dangerous situations when the cars get airborne. A great advent that Roush Racing came up with that NASCAR has adopted. It's required now on all cars, all of their race cars, that they have the roof flaps to help keep the cars on the ground when they get spun around backwards. So roof flaps, a very important addition in NASCAR safety. Back to you guys.
Hey, Buddy, is there any way that NASCAR can continue to improve safety? And I know that sounds like kind of a silly question, but it seems like they have all of their bases covered here.
Well, they're continuing every day. They have a research and development center up in Charlotte, North Carolina, and one of their main missions at that facility, and one of the reasons it was created, was to so-called invent the race car of the future, which is a safer race car. It's for everything from crush zones in the front and the back of the race car to type of materials that they use in the race car. All of these experiments are being done now to help try to even make things safer. With the Hans device and the roll cages and all that, they've done just about all they can do to this point, but there's always room to make things safer, and that's what they're working on at the R&D Center in Charlotte.